Hi friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about data types in JavaScript. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. Data types in JavaScript define the type of data a variable can store. Already we have discussed about a variable. What is the purpose of a variable? Variable is useful to store the data. If you want to define a variable, you need to use var or let keyword, and then you need to use the variable name, assignment operator, and then you can assign a value. Now this variable a is holding the 10, which is a number literal. Now I can say the data type of the variable a is number. Similarly, if the variable a is able to store a string, suppose if I am storing string hello, now this variable a is holding a string literal. I can say the data type of the variable a will be a string. Similarly, if you are able to store either true or false in the variable, then you can say that variable now will be a Boolean data type. So data types in JavaScript define the type of data a variable can store. When it comes to the statically typed programming language, you need to declare the variable. While you are declaring the variable, you will specify the data type and then you will provide the variable name. After that, you will define a variable. How you will do? You will specify the data type and then variable name, and then you will write variable name, assignment operator, and you will provide the value. Now what data type you are specifying here, the variable can hold that kind of data only. When it comes to the JavaScript, it is a dynamically typed programming language. You don't need to specify the data type of the variable while you are defining it. What kind of value it is storing during the runtime, the data type of the variable will be defined. So data types in JavaScript define the type of data a variable can store. In any programming language, we have primitive and non-primitive data types. Similarly, in JavaScript also we have primitive and non-primitive data types. What is meant by primitive data types in JavaScript? In JavaScript, primitive data types can contain only a single value, while the non-primitive data types can able to store collection of values. When it comes to the object, it is a collection of key value pairs. So JavaScript includes primitive and non-primitive data types. A variable of a primitive data type can contain only a single value, while non-primitive data type can store collection of values. JavaScript supports various primitive data types like string, which is useful to store a text, and a number, which can store an integer or a floating point number, and a big int, an integer with arbitrary precision, Boolean, which holds true or false, null, denotes a null value, undefined, a data type whose variable is not initialized, symbol, data type whose instants are unique and immutable. So JavaScript supports various primitive data types like string, number, big int, Boolean, undefined, null, symbol. While coming to the non-primitive data types, it supports the object, which is a collection of key value pair. Now let me discuss about the string data type. String data type is used to store the text. You can enclose the text either in the double quotes or you can enclose them inside the single quotes. Now both are text. If you are assigning this text to any variable, then I can say that the variable is holding the string data type. Let me discuss this concept practically with an example so that it will be clear for you. Let me go to the desktop and now let me double click on the Visual Studio, and then I will write a certain program. So I will write var is a keyword to define a variable, or I can use the let also, and then I will write the variable name as a, and then I will write hello. Then let me end with a semicolon. If I want to display the value which is there in the variable a, then I can use the console.log and I can provide the name of the variable which is a. Now let me run the program. If I run it, you got the output as hello. If I want to enclose in the single quotes, that also I can do. Let me run the program. You will get the output as hello. So you can enclose the text either in the single quotes or in the double quotes. Now if you want to display the output like this, I want certain content to be highlighted. If I say welcome to Parnika tutorials, the Parnika tutorials alone I want to highlight, either I want to enclose that one in the double quotes or single quotes. Let's see how it will work. I have enclosed the entire content in the single quotes. Only Parnika tutorials I have enclosed in the double quotes. If I run the program, you will get the output as welcome to Parnika tutorials, but however Parnika tutorials will be enclosed in the double quotes. Like this you will get the output. Now if you want to enclose the entire content in the double quotes, only Parnika tutorials you want to highlight and you want to enclose in the single quotes. That also you can do. If I run the program, you will get the output like this. Welcome to Parnika tutorials. The Parnika tutorials alone highlighted by enclosing in the single quotes. Now you want the Parnika tutorials also in the double quotes, and the entire content also you want to enclose in the double quotes. In that case, if you run the program, you will get an error. See, you are getting an error, syntax error, unaccepted identifier. To avoid this issue, you need to provide the slash here and also here. Now if I run the program, you will get the output welcome to Parnika tutorial. So the escape character, which is a backslash character, is useful to ignore this one. So whatever you are providing after that one, even if there is an issue, it will avoid. Okay, so like this you can use the string data type in JavaScript. Now let me discuss about the number data type. Number data type represents integer and floating point literals. If I write var is a keyword to define a variable, and then I will write the variable name a and assignment operator 10. Now this 10 is a integer literal, so I can say that variable a is a number data type. I can even write var and b is equal to 3.33. Now this is a floating point literal. Now a and b are holding the integer literal and floating literal, so I can say them they are number data type. Let me explain this concept with an example so that it will be clear for you. Let me write var n1 is equal to 10, var n2 is equal to 10.456, and if I write console.log and then I will provide n1 console.log n2. Now if I run the program, I will get the output as 10 and 10.456. You can observe we got the output as 10 and 10.456. If you want to know the type of the data the variable n1 is holding, then you can use the type of operator. JavaScript supports the various operators. In that one we have the type of operator. The type of operator is useful to know the type of data a variable is holding. If I want to know the type of data the variable n1 is holding, then I can provide like type of n1 end with semicolon. Now let me run this program. You can verify that we got the output as 10 because the n1 is holding the data 10, n2 is holding the data as 10.456. Here you want to find the type of data the variable n1 is holding. As the n1 is holding the data as 10, which is a number literal, you will get the data type as number. So this is the output we got 10, 10.456 number. Similarly, you can provide the plus infinity, minus infinity and not a number. Let me discuss this one. Let me write var a is equal to 10, var b is equal to 0, and then I am writing var c is equal to a by b. Now let me display the data which is the variable C is holding, and also the type of data the variable C is holding. I will write type of C. Now if you look at in any other programming language, if you perform the division by 0, you will get an exception. When it comes to the JavaScript, here you will get the plus infinity, because you are dividing a positive number by 0. Let me run this program to show the output for you. You got the infinity, and the type of the data the variable C is holding is a number. In place of plus 10, if I provide minus 10, then you can observe what will happen. You will get the minus infinity, because minus 10 you are dividing by 0, so that's why you are getting minus infinity, and the data the variable C is holding minus infinity, which is a number data type, so that's why you got minus infinity and number. Similarly, if I store the text in place of a 10 in the variable A, let me write it as hello, then you can observe you will get an NaN, which is not a number. You can observe here NaN, because you are dividing a text by a number. Even you can provide here as some 9. Let me run it, because you are dividing a string by an integer. In that case, you will get a NaN, not a number, and the data type is a number. So like this, you can use the number data types in JavaScript. Now let me discuss about the big int data type, which was introduced in the new versions of JavaScript. In JavaScript, number data type can only store or represent numbers less than 2 to the power 53 minus 1, which is a very large number. 2 to the power 53 minus 1. So I am using the exponential operator. So 2 exponential 53 means 2 to the power 53, and that number you are subtracting 1 from it. And more than minus 2 to the power 53 minus 1. So you cannot hold a greater number which is greater than 2 to the power 53 minus 1, or less than minus of 2 to the power 53 minus 1 in the number data type. But if you want to store a large number greater than the 2 to the power 53 minus 1, then big int data type in JavaScript supports it. So in JavaScript, number data type can only represent numbers less than 2 to the power 53 minus 1 and more than minus of 2 to the power 53 minus 1. However, if you want to store a large number than that, you can use the big int data type. If you want to store a value as a big int, then you can use the var is a keyword, and the variable name you can write anything, but you need to follow the rules. Here I am using the variable name as a, and if I want to store the content as 900719925124740 or 50, then 998. At the end I need to provide the n. If I want to say it is a big int data type, I need to append an n to the end of the integer. Whatever the content you want to provide it. At the end you need to append the n. Then you can say that this is a big int 1. If you want to observe practically, let me discuss with an example. I will write var a is equal to 900719925124740 At the end I need to provide n, and then I can print the value and the type of the data. I can write console.log a, similarly console.log type of a, small a. Let me end with semicolon. Now let me run the program. you got the output as 9007199251247409998n, and the data type is big int. Now if you want to add 1 to it, you can write var b is equal to a plus 1. Then it will create an issue for you. Let me display the value which is there in the variable b, and now let me run the program. You will get an error. See what is the error you are getting? Cannot mix big int with other types, because 1 is what? Is a number data type. How can you say it is a 1 is a number data type? How can you say it is not a big int? If it is a big int, you are supposed to append the n at the end of the integer. As you have not appended the n, you can say it is a number. Now a is holding the big int, because for the integer you have appended the n. As the a is holding the big int and 1 is an int or a number, I can say we cannot add these two. If I want 1 to the content which is holding by the variable a, you need to add n to the 1. Now this 1n is also a big int. Now variable a is holding the big int data type, 1n is also big int. You can add them. If you want to verify, let me run the code. Now you see we got the output, because 998, if you add 1, you will get 999, right? We got the output. So if you want to add some content to the big int, that content also should be a big int data type. Now let me discuss about the Boolean data type. It represents one of two values, either true or false. So a Boolean data type can hold the value true or false. If I write var is a keyword, and then I can provide the variable name, either I can store the value true or I can store the value false. Now the type of the variable a and b is Boolean data type. If you want to observe, let me write a program. If I write var a and if I store true to it, and if I try to display the value which is there in the variable a, and the type of the data the variable a is holding, I can write type of operator, and then I can provide the variable name a. Now let me run the program. You will get the output as true, because a is holding the true and the type of the true is a Boolean. Like this you can use the Boolean data type in JavaScript. In place of true, either you can store the content as false. If I run the program, you will get the output as false and Boolean. Now let me discuss about the undefined data type. Generally in dynamically typed programming language, you will just define the variable. I will write var and the variable name is a and it will hold the value 10. Now this variable a is holding the value 10, which is a number data type. If I print the value which is there in the variable a, you will get the output as 10. But let's consider that while defining the variable, I did not assign any value to it. And if I am trying to find the value which is there in the variable n1, then you will get the output as undefined, because you have not defined or you have not initialized any value to the variable n. That's why you are getting the undefined as an output. So it represents value that is not assigned. If a variable is defined but the value is not assigned, then the value of that variable will be undefined. If you want to verify practically, let me discuss with an example. I have defined the variable a, but I am not assigning any value to it, and if I am trying to print the value which is there in the variable a, you will get the output as undefined. So if you are not assigning any value and if you are trying to print the value which is there in the variable a, you will get the output as undefined. Now let me discuss about the null. Null is a special value that represents empty or unknown value. In DBMS, while you are asking the user to insert the data, user does not enter a particular value. Suppose user does not want to enter his age, he will not enter, then it will consider as a null there. So similarly, Similarly, in JavaScript, null is a special value that represents the empty or unknown value. Let me discuss with a simple example. I will write var variable, and then variable name is a and assign null to it, and if I am writing console.log and printing the value which is there in the variable a, you will get the output as null. So like this you can use the null. Null is a special value that represents empty or unknown value. Now let me discuss about the symbol. A value having the data type symbol can be referred to as a symbol value, because whatever the content you are storing in the symbol data type, you can say it is a symbol value. Symbol is an immutable primitive value that is unique. What is meant by immutable? We have two concepts. One is mutable and another one is immutable. If you say mutable, you can change the value which is there in the corresponding variable. Suppose if I write var is a keyword to define a variable. Now I have stored the value which is 10 to the variable a. If I write a is equal to 20, I am modifying the content which is there in the variable a. Now if I write console.log and try to find the value which is there in the variable a, you will get the output as 20. If you want to observe, let me discuss with a simple example. var where a is equal to 10 and then a is equal to 20, and if I try to display the value which is there in the variable a, you will get the output as 20. Now I can say that variable a is a mutable. You are able to change the content which is there in that variable a. When it comes to the immutable, you cannot change the content. So symbol is an immutable primitive value that is unique. You cannot modify to it. Now if you want to have some symbol value, then you can write var variable name. Let me write it as v1, and then I will write symbol, and then I will write hello, and let me end with semicolon. Now this hello will be a symbol value which is unique. So we have discussed about the various primitive data types in JavaScript like string, number, big int, boolean, undefined, null and symbol. Similarly, JavaScript supports non-primitive data type which is an object. An object is a complex data type that allows us to store collection of data. When it comes to the primitive data types, they can hold one value at a time. But if you talk about the object, it can able to store collection of data. Related to the object, we will discuss later. So in this video, we have discussed in detail about the data types and primitive data types. If you still have any doubts related to the concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.